The story begins in the empire called Terra. The classes in this empire are absolute. It was a rule set by the hero, the 7th Blade King, who is now about to be executed in front of the people of the Terra. This rules not even the greatest warrior in history, the 1st Blade King, who vanquished the Dark Spirit King and saved humanity, was exempt from this rule. The 1st Blade King, Rebel Label Landlot, who betrayed the Empire and was executed. Next, we see two guys beating up a little boy for defying his master's orders. They calls him Landlot Scum. The boy is the grandson of the Blade King, Rebel Label Landlot, Lae'zel Landlot. And if it was a few years ago, those bad guys wouldn't even be worthy of carrying his shoes. He gets another kick and few more whips. The man informs him that he should be thankful to the Emperor that he allowed him to live this long, even though his grandfather betrayed the Empire, and now he is nothing more than a lowly slave. He grabs the whip and thanks the man for reminding him of how noble his status is. The other man reminds him that he is just a trash, and nobles are the people who are the bearers of the Holy Seal, like the one he has in his hand, and that the Holy Seal is the true symbol of nobility. And even though he is the grandson of the traitor, he can't muster the slightest bit of the Holy Seal's power. The man tells him that he is just a trash, and even if his grandfather Leba were to come back to life, he'd die of frustration upon seeing such a useless grandson, and that he is just a scum whose only good point is his ability to take a beating. A little girl comes there, and she is little scared of those two. Her name is Xiao Mai, and she's a slave just like Lae'zel. She informs the two men that their Sir Deputy Captain told her to inform them it's time for their training. They leave from there, but informs Lae'zel that it's not over yet. Xiao Mai comes to Lae'zel asking if he is alright, and thanks him because it was her fault for accidentally breaking the plate, and he stood up for her and got beaten. Patting her head, he tells her that protecting a girl is a man's duty, and beside that was clearly a trap they set for her. He noticed that those guys have been targeting her for a long time. She compliments him, saying despite being so weak, he never backed down out of fear when facing them. Those words of hers seems to have hurt him more than the beating he got from those guys. She gives him a few more compliments, which almost kill him. Then a man comes there and orders them to stop slacking off and get back to their work. Next, in the Greyrock City combat training ground, people are training, and Lae'zel is cleaning their weapons, while remembering his past, that it's already been 5 years since he was forced into slavery. After his grandfather betrayed the Empire, they got attacked by the Emperor's people. Father and mother made sure that he and his sister survived. They died in that process. But he couldn't protect his little sister. They took her away from him. He curses his grandfather. It's all happened because of him. If only he hadn't betrayed the Empire, his parents wouldn't have died, and they wouldn't have taken his sister. He gets ready to make these people pay for what they did to him and his family. He gets a hit from behind for grinding his teeth in anger and not moving his hand fast. Xiao Mai comes to him and gets ready to help him. They seem to get along pretty well. He also informs her that when he manages to unleash the power of the Holy Seal, nobody will dare to treat him like this again. But the power of the Holy Seal is innate. He also informs her that after his family fell, those who wished to uncover the secret of the first blade, the Emperor's power imprisoned him. They drew his blood, cut him open, and tested drugs on him every day, conducting so many perverse experiments on him. They even implanted the dark demon cells into his body, trying to awaken his potential. Eventually, when they realized he could never awaken the power of the Holy Seal, they sold him off to the slave owner, and he believes that as long as his body can withstand enough stimulation, he can definitely awaken the Holy Seal. That's why he keeps enduring when they beat him. The two guys from earlier comes again, and gets ready to punish them for slacking off. Lae'zel tries to stop the guy from treating Xiao Mai like that. He gets a kick from the other guy, which sends him flying. And as for Xiao Mai, the man gets ready to forgive her, as long as she serves him well. Seeing them treating Xiao Mai like that, it's making him super angry. He throws the sword he was holding at those bad guys, but the guy easily blocks his sword, and gets ready to show him the innate power of the Seal Master, and throws that sword back at him. However, Lae'zel manages to dodge it, but the sword seems to be controlled by some kind of power. It comes back at him again. He is in the air, so he couldn't manage to dodge the sword this time and gets a hit by that sword. The man laughs at him for thinking that he can dodge the sword. Then the deputy captain of the Shadow Iron Squad, Second Order Seal Master Calder Philin, comes there, scolding those two bad guys for spending time of other activities instead of training. They informs him that the slave attacked them with a weapon, and they just used the seal skill to teach him the awareness he should have as a slave. And from what the captain saw, he thinks that they were clearly trying to kill the boy with that one blow, but they didn't expect him to dodge it. He comes to Lae'zel, and clearly he seems like a bad guy. He punches Lae'zel without saying anything. However, Lae'zel still stands on his ground. Then someone appears behind him. It's the guy who attacked him with the flying sword. He gets ready to make sure Lae'zel dies today, since he has the gall to dodge his attack earlier. The captain is surprised because he intentionally struck Lae'zel on his wound, yet he didn't cry out from such a pain. And Captain seems to know the history of Lae'zel's family, that his father, Dean Lanlot, was the Empire's leading alchemist among the 5 great alchemist sages, and his mother, Alina Lanlot, was also a psychic genius, and his grandfather, the Empire's first Blade King, Leba Lanlot. And he is surprised to see Lae'zel, the son and the grandson of such an amazing people, is a trash. Lae'zel spits on his shoe, saying, "Who does this dog belong to? It's been barking non-stop." Captain gets ready to show him how to be a good slave, and gets ready to let his friend demonstrate that for him. He moved towards Xiao Mai with his knife, gets ready to show him that a slave is just a tool for their master. He stabs Xiao Mai with his knife right in her heart. Lae'zel is boiling in anger. He's ready to chew the captain alive. On the other hand, Captain gets ready to see how long a heart can keep beating after it's taken out. This reminded Lae'zel of the time when his sister was taken away from him, so he thinks of Xiao Mai as his sister. He charges toward the captain like a mad dog. The guy who is holding him is shocked to see the torn up hairs in his hand. Captain takes his knife out from her chest, and Lae'zel is coming straight at him. He gives another strong kick. It definitely broke a few of his bones for sure. He went flying, but his pain is fading away. He realizes that he is about to die. Then he hears a voice saying, "You're finally about to die." This makes him mad, thinking that the extreme stimulus needed to awaken the Holy Seal is death. What is the use of it if he dies? But the voice tells him that now is the time of his death, but also the beginning of their coexistence, because it's not the Holy Seal, but a dark demon. Lae'zel is confused about what this voice is saying, and dark demons are the mortal enemy of the humanity. He doesn't want to be a dark demon. However, that is not for him to decide. The dark demon informs him that the humans who can share their life with him are exceedingly rare. He has waited for this opportunity for hundreds of years. Besides, coexisting with him not only allows Lae'zel to live, but the dark demon also gets ready to give him a little gift. After that, Lae'zel lands perfectly even after getting hit by such a powerful kick. The hair that got torn earlier grows back and even turns to red color. A strong energy covers his body. Everyone is shocked to see that he is still standing on his feet even after getting such a powerful hit. The guy who hit him with the flying sword earlier gets ready to finish him off, and the gift that Dark Demon gave him is called the Bloodline Remembrance, which allows him to inherit all the abilities of his deceased kin. And how strong his abilities are depends on how strong his kin are. The bad guy throws a punch at him. He slams the guy on the ground with a strong punch. If you guys are enjoying it, then please do 400 likes for part 2. Next, that one punch knocked the guy down. Captain and his other bad guy are shocked to see that. The bad guy is so shocked that he even let go of Xiao Mai. What's more, they are shocked to see the aura coming out from Lae'zel. Then suddenly, all the powers, abilities, experiences of Lae'zel's kin starts to pour inside his mind. The power of his mother, his father, his grandfather, his great-grandfather, his great-great-grandfather, his great-great-great-grandfather, his ultra-great-grandfather. Everything they experienced burst inside his mind. He is confused and scared because his mind is about to be explode with all these new informations. The demon informs him that all his kin's expertise, experience, and perfected skills have all been embedded in his mind. He inherited that through the gift the demon gave him, the Bloodline Remembrance. The demon leaves saying use this skill wisely and can't wait for that day's arrival. The guy who got knocked out also wakes up, and is mad that a mere slave dared to hit him. He jumps at Lae'zel once again. Captain tries to stop him, and turns out his name is Roy. He throws some very powerful attacks at Lae'zel, however, Lae'zel dodges them all. He then gets ready to use his combat art, but Lae'zel even stops his combat art attack. And not only did he stop Roy, but he has also counter-attacked him. Lae'zel even taunt him, saying that his footwork and his breathing were awful. He has flaws in every technique he used. He then strikes Roy on his leg, which seems to have hurt Roy. However, that kick was still not enough to break his leg. Lae'zel realizes that he is still weak. His body can't keep up with the skills he has now. He is still limited by his own physical capabilities. He has to become stronger to properly use this abilities he just inherited. Captain is also super shocked because Lae'zel's movements were totally different from before, and he now exudes a mysterious power comparable to that of a seal master. Roy's friend joins into the fight with his sword, but none of his sword attacks landed on Lae'zel. People notices them fighting and are shocked to see Lae'zel fighting with those seal masters. On the other hand, Lae'zel seems to have landed a perfect hit on Roy's friend. But the guy also grabs him by his hands so that he won't escape, and Roy can land a perfect hit on him. Roy, who is jumping from behind with another of his combat art. People watching them are shocked to see that two seal masters are using their seal power against a mere slave. The attack perfectly hits Lae'zel. Roy is super sure with that attack he killed Lae'zel. However, the captain is still quiet, because that low-level attack didn't do anything to Lae'zel. Instead, he easily countered it and even absorbed it. Everyone gets shocked to see that. He then gets ready to show them a high-level art, his ultimate move. The ultimate move of his old Gramps, and it's called the Overmount Bull Strike. Sends the guy flying and crushing on the ground. He is knockout now for sure. Roy is shocked to see how did Lae'zel become this strong. Lae'zel calls him idiot for not being able to see that the person they were fighting is already a seal master. Captain and Roy are shocked after hearing that, and Xiao Mai is happy that Lae'zel have finally become a seal master. But Roy is not believing him, because seal master are not made, they are born as seal master. One can never become a seal master if he wasn't born as one. Lae'zel opens his eyes to the truth that even though he keeps flaunting his titles as a seal master, but deep down, he is fully aware that he is just a mere trash compared to the great-grandson of the landlord. Lae'zel then gets ready to show him another high-level art, to let him see what an actual seal master is. His ultimate move, the aura coming out from him gets super strong. Captain is shocked to see such an outrageous aura. Then the aura starts to dissipate. His current physique is only around the level of beginner seal stage, so he can't execute his grandpa's incredible skills. People are eagerly waiting to see his ultimate move. Then they gets confused to see that he is not using his ultimate move. They are waiting for his move, but he just stopped. He then runs toward Roy and gives a strong kick right in his main part. The eggs gets broken. His little brother won't be able to wake up again. Now he can't be father in the future. People are shocked to see his ultimate move. They didn't expect that to be his ultimate move, huh? Just watching that man, they too can feel the pain. Even I am feeling that pain. Man, that really hurts, huh? Boys, have you ever got hit by a ball in that part? A guard comes to the captain and informs him that the city lord has summoned him, because some guests have arrived. He gets ready to leave from there saying it's Lae'zel's lucky day, and orders other soldiers to bring those two to the Saints Guild to treat their wounds. Lae'zel also comes running to Xiao Mai, who got stabbed in the heart and is still alive. The other slaves comes to him, compliments him for fighting against those two Shadow Iron squad. He stops them and orders them to help him take Xiao Mai to the Saints Guild. Everyone is super happy because he vented everyone's frustration today. They are even ready to be his follower, and Lae'zel, who is still processing about the things that happened today, it was all like a dream. However, he now has obtained his family's powers, and the opportunity he was waiting for such a long time have finally come. He gets ready to get his revenge for his family. Next, in the Saints Guild, a maid lady named Emily. She is also the receptionist of Greyrock City Saints Guild. Half-bald guy named Mao. He comes to Emily asking to help the little girl who got injured and is about to die. Lae'zel shouts at him saying she won't die. Emily notices them that they are the slaves of the city lord. Mao begs her to help that little girl or will die. Now Lae'zel is getting mad at him for trying to make Xiao Mai died, even though she is still breathing. Emily brings them to the healer named Alan. Alan gets mad at her because they just received 2 patients. Now again, he tells them to get out from there because he is busy. He is making some potion. What's more, they are just slaves, so he orders Emily to throw them outside immediately. She informs him that they are the city lord's slave, and Lae'zel notices the scent coming from inside Alan's room. The scent of the dust weed, it's in his dad's memories. Alan still orders Emily to get rid of them because they serve the city lord, not his slaves, and they are interrupting his potion brewing. Lae'zel gets ready to leave from there, but he asks Alan to just give him some medicine and bandages. But Alan doesn't want to give them the potion because 1 bottle of potion is worth more than their lowly lives. Then the potion Alan was brewing explodes. He tries to stabilize the potion. Lae'zel tries to stop him because he has added an excess of Jordanite, but it's missing the glacial shard and Herbalaf, and a more sacred seal power, and it'll explode. Just like Lae'zel said, the potion starts to explode. After some time, the other slaves have returned, and now only 3 of the slaves are there. Alan blames Emily. Because of her, his experiment is ruined now. He was so close to success. Laisel puts Xiao Mai on the couch and informs Alan that his formula was wrong from the start. Laisel informs Alan that he included too many minerals and not nearly enough herbs, not to mention that the proportion was wrong and that grease he used was too thick. He only got the stray dustweed and dried resin right. And the potion he was brewing is the star-shattering potion. And it's banned. The formula has been long destroyed by the guild. Now Emily is mad at Alan. He was brewing a potion that is strictly prohibited by the guild. The man informs them that he was just only researching for the academic purpose. It wasn't meant for ingestion. Laisel informs them that only idiots would ingest it, because the star-shattering blood is extremely helpful in elevating one's seal talent. But the adverse effect it brings is unimaginable. They'd go insane in the worst case. This surprised Alan, thinking, how did a mere slave know so much about it? Laisel gets ready to help him brew that star-shattering blood. Emily gets ready to stop him. Then Alan notices something. He finally notices that the boy standing in front of him is the grandson of the first Blade King, and he is the son of Dean Landlot. Emily is shocked to know that the boy they were talking to is the son of the co-founder of the Saints Guild and the leader of the 5 Saints, and Laisel is surprised to see the dustweed for the first time in his life. Alan tries to stop him from touching his things. Laisel informs him that he can really help him in brewing that star-shattering blood. Emily tries to stop them, informs them if the president knows about this then they are done. But Laisel is sure that the president won't do anything after all. It's only for the academic purpose. Seeing him so confident, Alan gets ready to believe in him and informs Emily that they are just doing this for the academic research. And now he gets ready to begin brewing that potion. Laisel looks at him in a strange way. He notices something. Someone is praying to the god to save Xiao Mai, who is dying, and she is asking him to just shut up. Alan gets ready to heal her and treat her injuries. He starts to heal Xiao Mai while thinking if Laisel is a dead meat if he dares to deceive him. After some time, he has patched up Xiao Mai and even gives a potion to replenish her vitality. Now he is done. He gets ready to hear about that formula of the star-shattering blood. However, Laisel have already brewed that potion. Alan is super shocked because he has experimented for half a year and he failed countless times. But this brat got in instantly. He checks the potion to see if it's really the real deal. He is surprised to see that it's the real deal. Laisel snatches the potion from his hand, and Emily doesn't seem to be happy about them making that banned potion. Laisel tells him to smell it and check the quality of the potion. Alan gets shocked to see that it's indeed the scent of the blood and sweetness that the star-shattering blood potion have. He gets ready to hold it in his hand, but accidentally the potion slips from his hand. And it all wasted. Then, poor guy, he got to see it, touch it, smell it, but didn't get to taste it. Such a precious thing, and now it's all wasted. He gets ready to make Laisel pay for it. Laisel informs him that if he wants to carry on this research, then the details are documented in section 6 of chapter 11 in the compilation of alchemy tales. But Alan doesn't have time to research. He just wants to strengthen his power with star-shattering potion. He is not hiding his real motive anymore, and Emily is shocked to hear that. She gets ready to report to the president if he persists. But he doesn't care anymore, because he doesn't belong to this guild and all he wants is to return to the capital. Laisel asks Emily about what Alan is saying. She informs him that Alan was a member of the Royal Alchemist Guild. But in one of his experiments, he burned down the lab and destroyed numerous exotic materials, so he was exiled to the Grey Rock. And he might never return back. He shuts her up, and he is sure that he will return to the Royal Guild once his talent level ascends. And for destroying his potion, he gets ready to make Laisel pay for it. Laisel informs him that the potion was a double-edged sword, but he doesn't care about it either and gets ready to show Laisel some of his combat art. Laisel then informs him that there is a way to increase his talent level without violating the forbidden laws. He suddenly stops his combat art and gets ready to listen to Laisel. Laisel informs him about the method and all. After hearing to Laisel, he thinks that it sounds like nonsense. However, Laisel is the son of the founder of the Saint Guild and also the 5 Great Saint. Since it's getting dark, Ermal gets ready to take Xiao Mai back to have dinner. Alan also gets ready to listen and do what he should do to get stronger. However, Laisel is not going to help someone so wicked like him. He will only bring chaos wielding such skill. This makes him super mad and gets ready to use other ways to make Laisel talk. Laisel also tells him to try them on. He falls on his knees and begs Laisel to tell him the method. Emily tries to stop him because the way he is begging is not good for the reputation of the guild. He shuts her up, even calls her bumpkin, and tells her to go back to cleaning the toilet. He keeps begging to Laisel. Seeing him like that, Laisel gets ready to help him, and Emily, she is just too shocked to see them like that. Next, in the slave's house, a high beam is coming out from one room. Other slaves are shocked to see that the bread and bean soap are shining. Lae'zel used an alchemy skill that enhanced the food's nutritional value and taste, and it's a skill that his father invented. At night, when everyone is sleeping, Lae'zel seems to be glowing in green energy, and it's the energy from the spiritual art called natural recovery. He is surprised to see that his genius mother developed such an amazing skill that healed his body through sleeping. He only slept for only 3 hours, yet the fatigue and pain are all gone. After awakening this power, he realized how weak his body is. The power granted by his father and mother. He gets ready to use it well and get out from his current situation, and avenge both of his parents. Next, he gets ready to do some training to become stronger, and for that he uses his grandfather's training method, releases some fire from his body, and attack himself from that same fire. This technique can push the body to its absolute limits, inducing every part of his body into intense state of tempering. Under this state, physical capabilities will grow in extreme speed even with simple training. But it doesn't come without a price. Not only does it place profound stress on the body, it also shortens his lifespan significantly. This is the secret to his grandfather's power. That's why he was hauntingly strong, because even his training methods were abnormal. However, Lae'zel gets ready to become even more ruthless than his grandfather and surpass his grandfather's strength. In the Saints Guild storeroom, Alan is having trouble finding the ingredients that Lae'zel told him to find. Last time, Lae'zel gave him some list of materials to gather for him, but he is not finding any of those ingredients in the store. He thinks that the kid must have been lying to him. He was stupid to believe a kid. He throws that paper. Someone catches it, and she gets very interested in the ingredients that are listed in that paper. She's a beautiful lady named Fina Garcia, a 14th grade seal master. President also comes there asking Garcia about the paper she is holding. He also gets interested after seeing the ingredients mentioned on that paper. He is the branch president of the Saint Guild, 4th grade seal master, George Edward. He asks Lady Garcia if these are the things that she was trying to seek, and she was looking for something that has to do with that list and the ingredients listed on it. And Alan is shocked to see the two bosses getting interested on that list, which he thought it was a bull carb because it was written by a slave. Lady Garcia comes to him asking if he wrote this recipe. Next, in the place where the slave lives, the slaves are shocked to see the sight in front of their eyes. Lae'zel is carrying a boulder all by himself. Next, Lady Garcia is super excited and asks Alan if he possessed the heritage of soul temperers. Alan is confused and shocked because the heritage of soul temperers, that one legend in the alchemy realm. President also asks him if he really does have it. The heritage of soul temperers, a mysterious alchemy recipe rumored to have dispersed among the guilds. This mystical recipe is capable of cultivating creations of prowess beyond imagination. And until now, no one has unveiled the identity of the temperer. He informs them that he doesn't have it and he is not a soul temperer. Lady Garcia gets disappointed. Alan is surprised to see this woman in front of him. She is the kingdom's prodigious alchemist that's been granted the privilege to travel around the guilds in search of the heritage of soul temperer. She gives him back his recipe, which is quite peculiar, and also likes to dive into deeper research with him. But she doesn't have time right now. They leave from there to the City Lord Mansion, and Alan is shocked to see that Lae'zel did a phenomenal job at writing this recipe. Then we are told that across Terra, seal masters strive non-stop to enhance their sacred seal's potency, also represented by their grades. There are 12 grades to sacred seals. With each higher grade, one's physicality and strength will improve in leaps and bounds. But reaching to the higher grades is not that simple, so they use potions as supplementary aids. And also one must rigorously refine their combat skills by tempering oneself. The slaves are shocked to see Lae'zel carrying such a big boulder. He just did all of their work by himself. However, he is still not strong yet. He remembers the demon telling him that he has inherited all the expertise, experience, and skills of his deceased family members. And after inheriting his deceased family members' prowess, he can sense powers of his mom, dad, and grandpa, but not his younger sister Eileen's. He gets happy thinking she must be still alive. After all, she was born with a sacred seal. She is not someone one can simply mess with. He gets ready to find her as she is his one and only family left. Next, he is getting massage from Xiaomai, and also recovering himself by natural recovery replenishes his energy while he sleeps. Combine that with massage stimulation, and his body's gonna recover before he knows it. He thanks Xiaomai for massaging him. Now he is feeling much better thanks to her. Then Mao comes to him informing him that someone from the Saints Guild has summoned him. He gets ready to go thinking that it must be Alan, and he must have got all the ingredients prepared. He comes to the Saints Guild, but there is no one there. Suddenly a sword comes flying at him. He dodges it, and they are the captain, Roy, and his friend. They were the one who summoned him, and they are there to punish him for injuring their seal masters. Captain informs Lae'zel that he is just a first-grade seal master, and Captain is a second-grade seal master, so Lae'zel doesn't stand a chance against him. He orders Lae'zel to kneel and beg for mercy. But Lae'zel is not a man who would do something like that. He notices that Captain is trying to recruit him, because there is no one capable of replacing the injured seal masters, resulting in a huge blow to Captain's squad. Captain gets ready to punish him. He is also ready to take the Captain head on. Captain releases his combat art, Tiger's Fury Gale. Lae'zel easily manages to dodge it, and even comes at the Captain with his kick. Even though the Captain blocked his kick, but the force in that kick was so strong that it sent the Captain back to his crew. The two are shocked to see that Lae'zel actually managed to dodge the Captain's Tiger's Fury Gale. And Captain is also super shocked, as we can see that on his face. He acknowledges that Lae'zel has indeed become strong, but that doesn't going to stop the Captain from punishing him. Captain jumps on him once again with another of his strong combat skill. Lae'zel once again dodges it. He releases another attack. Lae'zel retreats back and grabs the sword that was thrown at him earlier. He charges toward the Captain and even manages to hurt him. The two guys are shocked to see this sight. The slave actually managed to hurt their boss, and all that attacks that Captain was throwing at Lae'zel informs him that even though his attacks were ferocious, but he was open from everywhere when he was throwing those attacks at him. Captain gets super mad because a mere slave actually managed to hurt him. A second-grade seal master. He gets ready to split Lae'zel in half with another of his strong attack. Lae'zel also uses his combat art. Oh, it's a spiritual art, Murderous Retribution. Captain gets paralyzed. He is not even able to move his body, because it's shaking in fear after experiencing that Murderous Retribution. He is shocked because that killing intent, it was a spiritual art. How did he manage to do that? He gets a punch right on his face, and it's another art called the Underdog's Reversal. Next, in the City Lord Castle, the Lord of the Greyrock City, Ludolf Herman, welcomes Lady Garcia to his city and to his castle. They have their little chats, and turns out that she is there because she is searching for some ingredients to cure the princess's illness, and for that she is going to refine that soul temperer's thing or whatever. But to refine that, it requires collaboration with spiritual energy, and to find the spiritual art master is very rare, since there is no spiritual master in the Greyrock City. He compliments Lady Gracia, saying that she is a genius and that she is the master of both the middle-tier alchemy and the spiritual energy at such a young age. Truly the Empire's pride. His flattery seems to be getting her. Next, she is on the street, and she is little disappointed because she was looking forward to find someone skilled in spiritual energy, but she didn't find anyone. Then someone went flying behind her. Turns out, it's the deputy captain, and Lae'zel is ready to finish him. Captain surrenders, saying you win this time. However, Lae'zel have no plan of letting him go that easily. He stabs the captain on his leg. Garcia is shocked to see that. Something like that happening right before her eyes. Captain is shocked to see Lae'zel actually stabbed him. He informs Lae'zel that he is the deputy captain of the Shadow Iron Squad, the battalion under the City Lord's commands. If he dares to take his life, he will not be spared. But Captain also wanted to take his life, and what's more, Lae'zel also wants to pay back for what he did to Zio Mai. Gracia stops him and tells him that he must not kill the deputy captain because he already surrendered, and Lae'zel is just a slave. Killing a seal master is a huge crime. Lae'zel looks at her, saying, "Why is that your concern?" She gets shocked to hear that from a slave boy. Now she is mad. Even the city lord treats her with respect, but this slave dares to show insolence. And behind Lae'zel, Alan seems to be going somewhere. He notices Lae'zel. Lae'zel is also happy to see him and asks about the ingredients. Alan informs him that he gathered everything he asked from the neighboring city. Gracia also notices Alan, the uncle she met back at the guild. Lae'zel asks him to wait a little before he finished dealing with the captain. He steps on the captain's leg, makes him feel that pain. Lae'zel gets ready to spare his lowly life for this time. Now that he is done with the captain, he gets ready to go to Alan's alchemy lab. They leave from there ignoring Lady Gracia, who seems to be mad because she was ignored. However, she gets ready to forgive him this time. Then she gets surprised to hear the name of the ingredients Alan informing to Lae'zel. The cream horn. It piques her interest, thinking could it be about that recipe. She wonders if that recipe was written by that slave boy. In Alan's alchemy room, Lae'zel gets ready to borrow his cauldron to refine the potion. but Alan too wants to help him, so that he too can raise his talent level. Lae'zel agrees with him and asks about his alchemy tier. Alan informs him that it's just a novice. Lae'zel gets disappointed. He thought that Alan was in second tier, but he is just novice. However, Alan is a second grade seal master. He asks Lae'zel about his tier. Lae'zel also informs him that he is also a novice in combat art, alchemy, and spiritual art. Now Alan is mad. He dared to mock him when he is also a novice. Then he notices something. Lae'zel just said that he is talented in spiritual art, and Alan is shocked because it turns out that harnessing the power of the sacred seal, humanity forged 3 distinct disciples. They are combat art, alchemy, and the rarest of them all, spiritual art, collectively known as the sacred arts. Combat art, like the name said, it's a combat art, and alchemy, they are the one who make potions and all, they are like doctors and scientists. And finally, the spiritual art, spiritual masters are like magic user. And all these sacred arts have 5 main tiers: novice, second, middle, upper, and elite. People are born with innate talent towards different sacred arts, and it's more easier to increase the grade of the sacred art, in which one is more talented in. And the 12 seal grades determines one's physicality and strength, while the talent tier determines mastery on high-level techniques. Next, Lae'zel ignites Alan's soul core with his spiritual energy, which heighten his senses and enhance his alchemy skills. But it's temporary, with the drawback of leaving him sluggish afterward. So he informs Alan to not use it unless he is in a dire situation. Alan have also heard about this art. It involves the manipulation and refinement of soul energy. After some time, Lae'zel have ignited his soul core and tells him to practice alchemy as much as possible for now to increase his talent. Lae'zel then asks him to help him refine some potion. It will also help him improve his grade. After that, he is ordering Alan on how to refine the potion. After some time, Alan finally finished making the potion, and he is happy because this is his first time making middle tier potion. However, the potions are still not at its 100%, so Lae'zel gets ready to refine it with his spiritual energy. With his spiritual energy, he has made the potion reach to its 100% effect. Then Alan notices that the potions almost seems like the heritage of soul temperers, and turns out it is indeed the heritage of soul temperers. Poor Alan just lost words to say. He is shocked he just created the heritage of soul temperers, that even the 5th grade master can't do. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, then click this next video. Also like and subscribe for more. And stay tuned because next is going to be a big kaboom.